Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Chet Bhatta from Bradford University, Carilion at Toronto campus. I'm one of the biology faculty here, and I'm teaching several biology courses such as ecology and adaptation, medical entomology, human anatomy and physiology, and other general biology courses. But research-wise, I'm a bee biologist. I'm working on the ecology and behavioral aspect of honeybees and several native bees. In general, when we talk about the bees, people always think about honeybees. Um, and generally, they don't have the better idea about the existence of all those great solitary native bees out there, right? So, as a biologist, if you are wondering about how many types of bees out there in nature, that is great, right? That's a great questions. Um, so actually, there are about more than 20,000 species of bees out there in nature. So among them, honeybee only constitutes a small fraction of those bees, right? We only have 9 out of 20,000 species of bees are honeybees. And more interestingly, in North America, we only have one species of honeybees. That is European honeybees. Scientifically, we call them as Apis mellifera, and those Apis mellifera is not native to our North America, right? So we brought those European honeybees probably back in 1600 when European settler migrated to North America. So they brought those bees with them to utilize honey and other beehive product from these bees. So I can show you the collection of honeybees all around the globes. That means here this tiny guy is a European honeybee, where people keep this bee in a fancy hive for honey and other purpose. But all other remaining 80 species of honeybees are primarily they are distributed in the South Asia, Southeast Asia, or South Asian country. For example, you may have heard about these giant bees called as the Himalayan cliff honeybee, also called as the Apis laboriosa, or you may have heard about the really tiny honeybees that is also found in the several regions of Asia called as the dwarf honeybee or Apis florea. But here what I'm trying to explain is because generally people think about honeybees, but we only have one species of honeybees in North America. Uh, so so all remaining, the 19,991 species of bees are the native bees, or typically particularly solitary bees. So here the solitary bee means those bees generally live individually, not unlike the honeybees, they live individually. For example, only one female um, lay the bunch of eggs and they continue the life cycles. They are not like honeybees, they live in a big giant colonies of thousands of individuals, something like that. Right? So in North America alone, we have about 4,000 species of native bees. So, for example, I think you guys know about several native bees out there. So here I can show you the collection of native bees around North America. For example, I think all of you are pretty much familiar with this bee. This guy is called as the bumblebee, right? Or or you guys are familiar with these bees called as the sweat bees. Or there are other bunch of bees like carpenter bees, or leafcutter bees, um, or many more different types of the bees, right? And these solitary bees are very important because they provide great pollination services, and that pollination services is very important to maintain the food security and environmental sustainability, right? That's how we are getting our food in our dinner plate tonight. But at the same time, it is very important to understand how these bees survive out there in nature. Do they remain active throughout the whole time of the year, or where they go and nest? Right, that kind of thing is very important. So, for example, most of the solitary bees nest in the soil, like they are underground nester, or some of these bees nest on agricultural refuse, or they find small branch of tree or they find these several twigs and nest on that branches. For example, here I can show you a typical type of the nest for the carpenter bees, or, or this kind of nest for carpenter bees. They utilize that kind of tree twigs, or these bamboo shoots for nesting, or you can see this kind of artificial nest that is suitable for different types of the bees. So it is very interesting and important to understand where bees nest on, so how they complete their life cycle, right? How they remain active throughout the year, something like that. So most of the time, the most of the solitary bees do not make uh, throughout the winter. That's why the larval stage, or the eggs that were laid in these tree branches or agricultural refuge or underground, they undergo the overwintering or the long diapause in the winter. That means they remain inactive throughout the winter month, and they'll hatch out and they emerge out with onset of the spring. That's why we can see lots of activities going on during the spring season and summer season, so that you can see lots of bees flying around your home or your campus. So it is very important to understand how these bees interact with the plant. That means there's a spatial phenomenon of plant pollinator interaction. Also, there is a very uh, important biology, important about the biology of bees, and there's so many important facts about these nesting structure and nesting biology of these bees, right? So if you are really interested about uh, this kind of thing, how bees make nest in the nature, how they collect resources from the flower like pollen and nectar to provision their nest, um, and how they complete their life cycle, how they survive during the winter, something like that. So we can always discuss about that kind of thing, and create some research project out of this. So for this, like, you have to like spend some hours in nature, um, um, by observing what bees are doing, how they are collecting the food resources, how they are digging their nest, right? That kind of thing. So if you are interested in that kind of research, um, I'm I'm happy to discuss further. You know, Discuss further and to create the appropriate research project. Um, uh, in upcoming semester. So if you really like to explore that kind of thing, um, you can always email me or contact me. So my email address is cbhatta @radford.edu. One more time, my email address is cbhatta@radford.edu, or you can find me in the faculty webpage, um, uh, from the webpage of the Radford University, radford.edu. So thank you for listening to me. I'm I'm looking forward like any inquiry or any interest about the um, the bee and pollination research. Have a good night.